Town Talk of Public, the American Reverend Zachariah Jackson from the church of what's happening now. Again, we out here, we are doing stories and everything today. You know, we often hear about undocumented citizens, undocumented people in the United States. And, you know, I guess a lot of people think that everybody knows the functions or the steps to take to become an American citizen or to get documented. I'll be honest with you, I have no clue of how you do it. The things I've learned is, heard about is you hire a lawyer. Well, then we hear a lot also that the lawyers take money and they run off. You know what I mean? They do all kinds of things. We hear all these things. So today, I'd just like to actually come up with some facts. I'm going to introduce a young lady, get a little closer here. And just introduce yourself to the public, please.
Okay. My name is Chia-Chia Wang, Civic Participation Coordinator with the American Friends Service Committee, Immigrant Rights Program. We're based in Newark, New Jersey. And this program provides legal services to immigrants if they qualify for a certain immigrant visa or status.
Okay.
And we also do community organizing work, trying to, you know, trigger and influence public policies.
Okay, let me start with this here.
Sure.
You said if they qualify. Now, what exactly does that mean?
The reason I say that, and I say that repeatedly with our partners or community members, is that most immigrants don't qualify for any kind of legal status,
Okay.
or we call them immigrant status, because what happens is that you become immigrants and then you naturalize to become citizens.
Okay.
So a lot of people are here as a non-immigrants, meaning that they may be here working on a working visa, or you know, it could be athletic, it could be religious worker, but they're not actually considered immigrants. But they do have legal status to stay here and work. But after a period of time, they may have to go. And before their visa expire, they could petition to become an immigrant and eventually U.S. citizen.
Okay, now how long will that permit last, that their visa lasts, that if they come on a work visa?
It all depends if your job can sponsor you and there are certain requirements that you need to prove, or your employer needs to prove. You know, most of the time prove that you are a qualified worker, and that, you know, you're not competing with U.S. citizens for the job.
You're not competing?
You're not competing because, and then, you know, it sort of comes...
So it's not like free trade, and in other words, you actually have to wait in line? So if you want the job, if I want the job as an American citizen, and a person coming from another country want the job, I get the job first?
You could say that. And then I think it depends on the job, and I think we have to look at it case by case.
Sure.
Because, you know, every candidate is different, right, for the job. And I think it's very hard to say that I'm going to hire this U.S. citizen first because there is fair opportunity, right? We need to look at the individual, not at the immigration status. But there are other considerations, right? If this is an immigrant applicant, and it's gonna take some time for this person, and the employer has to spend some money to sponsor this person.
Sure.
That needs to be taken into consideration too, in terms of the hiring process. So it depends on the employer. If the employer has the budget, and then, you know, is actually the job requires, you know, certain language skills or multicultural skills, or, you know, that kind of experience, then the foreign worker may be preferred, right?
Okay.
So it depends on the job. But
let me stop you here. Okay.
Okay.
When we talk about a company actually sponsoring somebody, how is that actually done? I mean, how do they know? Do they send a recruiter out to the country, or do the person get here first?
That's a good question. There different ways. I don't work for a company. I'm not 100% sure how companies do it. What I know is that they will usually, let's say, okay, they have some jobs available, right?
Okay.
And they post the jobs. And they could be looking at, people from a really well-known MBA program or a law school, that those graduates that they prefer, and then they will see who they can get, who apply, and then trying to decide, who they want to hire. And then a lot of times we probably will be looking at one job where, you have, 50 or 100 job applicants, and then you look at each resumes differently. And I don't know if companies actually go out to overseas and recruit a group of, foreign workers. That I don't know.
Okay.
I think international organizations or international corporations may be doing that, but I'm not sure.
All right, well then let's get back to someone becoming legally documented here. What is the actual steps that one needs to take?
Well, first, you cannot be out of status for a certain period of time.
Now, when you say out of status to the public, what exactly does that mean?
Out of status meaning that if you come, let's say, with a valid visa, right?
Okay.
Most of people do, and on a tourist visa, on a student visa, on a certain type of visa, and that after you stay beyond what's said on your passport at the time you're allowed to stay, you didn't leave the country, and that means that your visa expired.
Okay.
Right? That means that you're out of status, undocumented.
Okay.
If, let's say, you stay here with that expired visa for a long time, you may not qualify to legalize your status or to change to another visa. You have to be able to change your visa or change your immigrant status before your visa expires.
So, all right, if the visa is, let's say, 6 months, 6 months visa, okay. Like when I visit England, 6 months, whatever that thing said. 6 months, I said, at the time I said, I don't know what to give me 6 months, I'll be a few days, I'm out, I'm coming back home, but I didn't understand what that was about.
Right.
I would be able to stay in England at that time for 6 months.
Yes.
But that wasn't a work visa.
No, you are not allowed to work.
But
every visa has its purpose, right? When you apply for tourist visa, you're there to tour.
Right.
When you apply for work visa, you are there to work.
To work, okay.
So you're a student, you're not allowed to work, you're really in school.
Sure.
So pretty much most of the country have those categories where you apply for certain visa and that limits your activities in that country, and they know what you're doing here. And then, so if you feel like your life, you want to stay here, you want to, explore more or learn more or have families here, then you have to figure out, what kind of visa you're eligible for. And in this country, mainly it's through family ties.
Family ties, meaning what?
Meaning that you have parents, children, spouse, or siblings here that are U.S. citizens. And then who is willing to sponsor you.
All right, if they're here, so someone probably sponsored them. Like I was talking to a young lady, she said that she was from Haiti. She said her brother in New York sent for them. So he sponsored them to come here, her whole family. So it's like 4 kids, 4 or 5 kids, mother and father, brought them all here. Okay. Now, what exactly do that mean if someone sponsored you?
Someone sponsor you, meaning that, and that sponsor is usually a U.S. citizen.
Sure.
Okay. If you're on a non-immigrant visa or immigrant visa, you cannot sponsor somebody.
Sure. Sure.
So you have to be U.S. citizen, and you want this family member to come and live or unite with you. So, and then to stay